Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
It hasn't taken Herbert long to earn this status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. He's locked and loaded on every snap, and the second he sees an opening, the ball's soaring downfield. You've got to be on your A game at all times against him. The second you slip up, he's liable to burn you.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Option play, and they'll give to Eckler. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Justin Herbert looking to pass. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. All told, it's a loss of 8 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Webster now to return. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Bears take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
23 yards on the play.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the Tuck Roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. Or these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. And they come up here now, first down. Here's Herbert. Oh, he brings it in off the deflection. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
But when we see the ball tipped in the air, sometimes we get a little roll change, don't we? Because when it's in the air, sometimes the defensive back becomes a receiver. And in this case, the receiver looked like a defensive back, but ended up a receiver.
He caught it as a receiver. Hey, it worked out.
Worked out really well for them. But I'm telling you, the defensive guys,
frustrated.
Oh, frustrated. They're going to catch it in film.
On first down, it's Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for them on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 18.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line. But they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield. And he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Justin Fields keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Bears have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Holding offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And diving to try to get the first down. He's going to be a little bit shy of the marker. 2nd and 2. Fields now to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play,
and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, 15 yards. And the Bears have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. They were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Now the point after try for Santos. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Fighting through pressure.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case,
Herbert has it knocked free.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Herbert. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. Here comes Webster. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we?
Touchdown, Chicago! Velus Jones, 60 yards. And the Bears are able to add on to their first half lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Matt Eberflus is going to keep his offense on the field. They're going for 2. Trying to run it in with Montgomery. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in a 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go and push it into the end zone.
And they did it right. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. On first down, Justin Herbert being chased out left. He's got Allen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again, Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. Herbert has it knocked free. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate one. Touchdown! John Mooney, 39 yards. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Now the Bears keeping the offense on the field and going for two. Trying to run it in with Montgomery. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. You know, we've discussed this before and we've seen it in practices. Extra periods being put in for the offense on these two-point tries. But the defense, they're beefing up their support as well in practice.
They absolutely have to. If people are going to go for two and try and gain those advantages and make it tougher on your team as the game goes along, you have to be in a position to stop those. You can't let them get the advantage. So, yes, the defensive teams, they're putting in that extra time on two-point plays as well.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And this is caught out in the left flat. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears going to get one more possession in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety rolling into position, almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As it's time now to send you backstage, we now proceed to the start of the second half.
You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these 2 coaching staffs. Plenty decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Indeed, Coach. Thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future. Khalil Herbert to return it from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a 1st down. That's a nice explosive play there, and this defense told us we have to have our eyes right on their RPO sets, and they did not have their eyes right.
I love that term, eyes right, meaning they have to be in the proper place and read your keys. And a smart thinking guy running an offense can see when you break down on that, and he took full advantage of it.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now Fields going to keep it running left. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage. They're dominating right now on this drive.
They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
They always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open.
And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Justin Fields his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Matt Eberflus is going to keep his offense on the field. They're going for two. They'll try and sneak it, and he will not make it to the goal line. It's his try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. He'll hand off here to Eckler. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Herbert now. Allen's got it complete. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Fields going to keep it once more. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Keeps himself upright. Complete to Mooney on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Welcome back now here in London. For the fourth quarter, we'll begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now it's Herbert. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 53 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Byron Pringle from 6 yards away. And the Bears continue to pour it on here in the fourth. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 1st and 10, Herbert got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Looking to throw. Herbert. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You're talking about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Santos now to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Chargers offense back onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Herbert on first down now. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Roquan Smith. Who else? He's in there for his fourth sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll find Everett there, complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. From the 50, here's Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you. He's got a man, complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Now the point after try for Santos. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Roquan Smith, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Third and long, it's Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for him here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team?
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Santos now to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Herbert has it knocked free. And now he's got him at a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Fields going to hold on to it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Santos with the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert, a little short pass. This is Everett, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them.